guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a knife video for you. I've got something pretty cool here for you today. As you can see, we're talking about Reate and Skelton Blade Works limited edition. I'll just quickly open the packaging up so you can see what it comes with. We've got a little Velcro patch there, and then a microfiber cloth, both of which will just stay in here and probably never be seen or heard from again. But I know you don't want to look at foam, so let's grab the knife and make things a little more interesting. So what we have here is the production version produced by Reate of the Jim Skelton designed Tibia. All right, so most of you are familiar with the fact that Jim has been a YouTuber for a long time and has done a really, really good job. You know, I can think of so many really good videos from Jim Skelton, videos that I watched over and over and over and over again, videos that informed, you know, my own biases and preferences in terms of knives. And while I'm not really into the same knives that Jim is usually looking at, I have enjoyed a lot of his work. So he's obviously, you know, we're all aware that he's switched sort of from doing YouTube to being a maker. He still does some YouTube videos, and they're still fairly well done. I watched a few in preparation for this, including his video on this particular knife. You know how it goes when a knife is coming in the mail. You want to watch as much content as you can about it. And so let's do a quick rundown. We have a very aggressive Wharncliffe blade here, stonewash on the flats as well as into that fuller with the speed holes, and then Reate's fantastic satin finish, which I've already marked up. You can see some marks on there just from me messing with this. But Reate does such a nice job with their satin finish. I really, really enjoy it. Very fine cutting edge and lots of cutting edge. Now, this is an interesting way of going about this. Jim has given us tons of blade and just a little bit of handle. Whether that's too little handle remains to be seen. I haven't had a chance to really use this in any meaningful way, but in hand it feels pretty good. We'll see what happens. Sometimes what can happen is in a situation like this, because the blade's kind of reaching out there quite a bit, when you're cutting at the tip, you don't have much leverage. It's obviously designed for a saber grip, so your thumb can kind of land right into that swale there. All right, moving down here to the handle, you can see really nice carbon fiber with these decorative screws, and that can be disassembled, and Jim specifically makes mention of the fact that you may want to switch these out to some other material or something like that, which would kind of be cool. I don't have any plans to do that, but it's nice to have the option, and the hardware does add a bit of detail to the design. All right, you can see couple small sort of voids. They're not really voids in this carbon fiber, just little hiccups in the finish, but beautifully done carbon fiber overall. Really nice finish all around, and this is just almost indiscernible. Reate has done a really nice job building this. Let's quickly take a look at this sheath. So leather sheath ships with the knife. It's going to be, you know, basically it's going to be left hand hip carry all the time. If you wanted it to be right hand, you really can't set that up. But Jim did mention in his video about the knife that he has an arrangement with a sheath maker where for, I don't know, 50 bucks or something like that, you could get a sheath set up for left hand carry, or to be carried on the opposite side. I think this is a pretty nice move. I would have preferred Kydex. Generally, I do, but I do like kidney carry, so I'm not going to complain about that. The one thing I will say is putting this knife away, you sort of have to maneuver that strap out of the way, and the same is true when you take the knife out. I feel like I've got to just hold this down a little bit. So I'm not sure how that's going to work over time. I will give it a little bit of experimentation over the next few weeks before I come at you with a full review. I'm looking forward to, yeah, you can see there I'm catching that strap, so you got to push it out of the way with your finger. I'm really looking forward to putting some use on this. Now, quickly before we go, I'll just give you a rundown on the size here. In sort of an opposite way to what we're used to talking about, this knife has a nearly 4-inch blade, 3 7/8 inches of cutting edge, and a 3-inch handle. Now there's a little bit of space here that sort of the handle extends into the tang of the blade. 7 1/4 inches overall. And so pretty interesting way of doing this. I will say, I would be curious to know what happened. And Jim probably did some prototyping with this, but I'd be curious to see what would happen if you added 1/2 inch or something to this handle. Anyway, as I say, it feels fine as it is, but until I get to a chance to do some cutting with this, I won't be able to say much more about the ergonomics. But I will do that, and I'll have more to say in my full review in, a little bit of time. So what are my overall thoughts? This is a really, really cool knife. I love the design. I love the fuller with the speed holes. I'm not sure why they're called speed holes. I don't think they make the knife faster in any meaningful way. If it's like a turbocharger where the air can move through. And anyway, I digress. Really cool looking design. I do like the knife overall in terms of, I do like the looks of this overall. I like the sheath. I like the way it looks in the sheath. So from a design standpoint, I can't complain. From a fit and finish standpoint, I certainly can't complain. We'll give it some use over the next little while and come back with a full review, as I've been saying a couple of times before. Thanks a lot for watching. I think there may still be some in black available at White Mountain Knives. That's where this one came from. Go over there, use my discount code SHARPSTUFF, and see what you can find. And if they don't have any, that's going to be tough, because I think this is it in terms of how many they're making. However, I don't know that to be the case for sure. And Jim wasn't totally, nailed down on that either. So perhaps if you really want one, you can make it known, and there'll be some indication that there's lots of interest out there, and maybe another run will come available. Hopefully, in the meantime, anyway, if you're watching this early enough, you can just go to White Mountain Knives and get yourself one. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We will talk to you soon.